Hello everyone, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. So today what I'm going to be talking about is my audition experience at MG Academy in Edinburgh. So my audition literally just happened today. And I wanted to share this experience because when I was looking for advice for the audition or what the audition would entail, there was like one video that I found which was really good, but I thought having other people's perspective would be really well. Obviously I just had the audition today, so I don't know whether I got it or not. But I'm going to talk about my experience. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So we're just going to jump right into it. So first off, I applied, setting an application online, just the basics. Make sure you have the right to study in the UK, you have the right to be here. Oh my god, my hair is really annoying me. There we go, we'll just do that. Make sure you have the right to be here in the UK. General things, emergency contact, phone number, previous experience, things like that. And then you submit that in and they email you. I think I was awaiting like a day or something, maybe like a few days at most, to then get an email inviting you to an in-person audition. I do believe that there is the opportunity to do an online audition if you're not able to make the in-person one. I'm not too sure. I didn't need to explore any of those options as it is just in the city next to me, so I was able to go in. But I'm sure there would be online ways to do that. But what I got in the email was basically just the email telling me what the email was for and what the different documents are. So there was 4 different documents attached to the email. The first one was the actual audition date invitation. So that was today, so the 15th of January 2023. The registration time was 9:30, and the audition started at 10. And then that was about it for that. I think they gave you like they gave you the address and an email and a phone number if there was like difficulties or something like that. The second document was what to prepare for your audition. So what they did is they have 3 different, not courses, they have so many different courses, but they have like 3, what are they called? 3 different specialities, I suppose. So they had dance. So they have the dance courses, the musical theatre courses, which I was auditioning for, and the acting courses. So they do all of these courses like auditions in the same day. So at the start we were kind of like all in together waiting for registration with all of the actors and dancers as well, and it was super cool. But they do that all on the same day. So the second document is basically saying if you're an actor, prepare this. If you're an MT student, prepare this. If you're doing dance, prepare this. I literally just said that twice and forgot the word. So obviously I'm focusing on MT. So the MT requirements is that you choose a contemporary monologue. I don't believe it has to be from a published play. Mine didn't say that it did have to, but I would definitely recommend doing one from a published play because it's a lot easier to look up online other people's interpretations of it and what they did and get some ideas if you're not the best at coming up with that. If not, just find one that suits you, one that you feel drawn to, one that you really like. That I think that's really important. because I've done monologues that I don't enjoy before, and it just didn't go well. But yeah, it had to be a contemporary monologue that was 60 to 120 seconds long. And then there was also, you had to prepare 2 musical theatre songs. They had to be contrasting. So for example, my songs were Little Miss Perfect, Tapes, the Right Out Loud, and Dead Mom from Beetlejuice. So both brilliant songs that can show off my voice and my vocal type, but also very contrasting, to show off different sides and different casting types that I can do. And then basically what you do at the bottom, there's nothing to prepare for dance. However, you do a jazz class and a ballet class. I say a class, audition. And I'll get more into the specifics of what we did today later on. They tell you in the same document, they tell you kind of what to wear. So they did say just something you can dance in. So there was only like 2 or 3 people who weren't in a leotard. Now, it wouldn't hinder you in any way not to wear a Leo. I wore one because I have them. It's what I feel comfortable dancing in, and it's whatever you feel comfortable dancing in, as long as whatever you wear is appropriate for jazz and ballet, then they don't mind. And I would definitely recommend having jazz shoes. If you're going on a course like MGA, I was applying for the BA. If you're applying for the BA, then I'm pretty sure they assume that you would have jazz shoes. Some people don't, and that's fine. Toe thongs, half socks. Socks are... I wouldn't recommend socks, but you can do that. Bare feet, it is really up to your discretion of what you are comfortable in dancing in, whatever's going to show them to your best ability what you can do. That makes sense. I don't know. So yeah, it also tells you to bring water. I feel like that's a given. The classes were extremely like, I needed drink. I needed water. The third document was like another application form that you had to fill in and send to them. So this was more, they asked you all the general stuff as well, so like name, date of birth, address. They asked like your grades in school, like what you studied, things like that, any past experience you've had. It's also the bit where they ask for your personal statement. What else? Emergency contact. They ask if you have any disabilities, for like things like interviews, if they had to do anything for that, any mental health problems that you would need learning support with, pronouns, and how you are planning on paying for the course. So because I'm in Scotland and I was born in Scotland, I've lived in Scotland for over 5 years. I mean, I've lived here my whole life, but for SAS, I would pay through it for SAS. Basically, they pay my tuition fees for me because I'm a Scottish citizen and I've lived here for over 5 years. They pay all that for me, so that's what I put down. And the last document... Yes, okay, so the last document was the fee sheet, so how much your tuition was cost. There's also a registration fee. I'm not 100% sure if SAS pay that. I'd like to assume so. You can always apply for a loan, and that would cover it. And those are just like yearly expenses. And it breaks it down through specifications and then the courses of that. So those are the 4 documents. So I'll talk about what actually happened today. So registration opened at 9:30. I got there about 9:15. I woke up about 6, 6:30. Had breakfast, left for the bus, which was at 8. So I left at about 20 to 8. Got there, had to walk quite a bit because the other bus didn't arrive. So I got there about 9:15. No, yes, 9:15. Went in, there was a lot of people there. I'm a very anxious person. I was quite nervous. I don't know what I was doing. But they have like student helpers, so students in the different courses who help out on the day. They are the friendliest and nicest people ever. They were great to have a conversation with. They were really helpful, and they were just like really friendly. So if they saw someone alone, like they'd come over, talk to you, and they're just genuinely really nice. And they break down the tension so well. So I'm really glad they were there. And basically, they just said that I can go into the room and get registered and get my number. So there's the little sheet that you pin to your Leo or whatever you're wearing. So I went in. I was number 49. There was 50 numbers that day. A few didn't show up. Suppose that happens. But I was number 49. I came out. We were chilling for a while. Obviously, we didn't start till 10. Had a few conversations with the student helpers. A guy that I met. He was so nice. He was just auditioning. He was auditioning for the actors course. So we just got chatting. And then 10 o'clock on the dot, they came out and said, okay, we're all going to take you into this room and do a course overview. Or like an overview of MGA, tell you a little bit about us and what we teach, the lecturers, what we're doing. So we went in there and they broke down kind of like what they do, what the lecturers, each of the lecturers introduce themselves, what they do, what they teach, experience that they've had. All the lecturers there are so lovely and they're so kind, and they're quite patient as well. And they all have first-hand experience, so they all performed before this. They're all performers who decided they wanted to teach, so they all have like really good first-hand information. It really is brilliant, because that's quite rare to like go somewhere and for all of your lecturers to actually have performed. But it was brilliant. So the principal, she went over MGA, kind of like all of the courses, and then the campus, what it's like. They are currently in the process of having a new campus refurbished, a brand new campus that I believe is going to open in September time. It looks beautiful. They're having some awesome studios built. It'll be a much nicer place. Place where they are now isn't the biggest either. It's very nice, but they wanted a bigger place to accommodate, and the place that they're getting is much bigger and just genuinely nicer. So after that was all wrapped up, a few people asked questions. They give you a chance to do that. We came out and we were straight into jazz. So this is where they separated us into MT, acting and dance. The dance went and did the ballet class first. Acting went to do acting stuff, and MT students, we went up and we did our jazz class or jazz audition. So we went into changing rooms. We all got changed into, or we took our warmers off, went through, got our water, and came through to the studio we were doing jazz in, a very nice studio. We started off, she kind of like let us stretch out on our own for a bit, and then she did a stretch with us. It was brilliant, to be honest. It's one of the best stretches I've had from a dance teacher in a very long time. And then we moved on to some corner work. So we did kicks, turns, and leaps. That was brilliant. I love corner work. It's one of my favorite parts of dance classes. I love it so much. And then after we'd done that, so we did that in pairs of twos. After we'd spent quite a while on that, to be honest, we moved on to a short routine. It was simple movements. It was really fast. So we went through that a few times. She went through it in 8 counts. She did teach it really quickly. However, it was easy. It was easy movements, even for people who dance isn't their strongest point, like me. It was easy enough to pick up. And then we did that in groups of five, I believe. And then after that was done, she didn't have time to do a cool down, but we were just about to move on to ballet. So we went in, she gave us a chance for the people who had specific ballet attire to change into that. I don't do ballet. I've not really done ballet before, except for when I was like a kid, like baby ballet. So I didn't have any ballet stuff. So I just did what I was in, and that was completely appropriate. My jazz shoes. I moved on to ballet. We did bar work. So pliés, tendus, glissés, rondejons. Then we moved on to a short sequence in the middle that we did. There was 2 of those. We did 2 short sequences. We did one that was mainly just pliés, tendus, kind of kicks, things like that. And then we did a full jump sequence. I love jumps. I love doing them. They're so fun. And then after that, we did one sequence in corner work, which was okay. Overall, like, ballet for me just it's not it. It wasn't great, but I smiled throughout it, I performed, and I think that's the main thing. That's really all you can do. There's no point sitting there sulking over the fact that you can't do it. You just have to keep on smiling and hope that they notice that you're at least trying and giving it your best. She did a quick cool down with us, very simple, really nice, and then we got a chance to change back into like hoodies again, back into our normal stuff. And then we went downstairs. They gave us like 10 minutes to kind of chill out, and then we started acting and singing. And usually they do these both separate. However, because there were so many of us on that particular day, they decided that they would start singing with like the higher numbers, so go like 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 and then acting would go like 50, 49, 48. So I was like the second one to go in for acting. But acting took quite a while. They were at like number like 12 or 13 in singing by the time we got to start acting. So what they did, I ended up doing acting first, so I'll say that. So we went in about like a group of 10-ish, maybe 12, and we sat, we all performed our monologues one by one, and the lecturer taking that on asked us at the start if we needed a chair or anything like that. A few of us did. I was one of the ones that would like a chair, so he had a chair at the side that we could pull on, which was really nice that they were able to do that. And then he went round each of us asking us what our monologue was, where it was from, and who it was written by. There was one or two that were like, oh, mine's not really from anywhere, and that was okay. As I said before, they didn't really specify whether it had to be from a published play or not. So we did that, and then what did we do? Yeah, so what did we do? We went one by one, performing our monologues in front of each other, which was really nice to have an audience. It's usually something I'd find quite daunting, especially people I'd never known before. But it was really nice to just have an audience and not just have like 2 or 3 lecturers like watching me. And it was nice to have like funny moments, like people to actually laugh at them. So if that's something that worries you, like don't. It's always the best thing to have an audience. It usually terrifies me, it does. But I've kind of took on the mindset that audience is better than no audience. And it's really nice being able to watch other people act, because there was a few that I was like, that was amazing. Like I never expected that from them, even though I'd known them for like a day. But like it was just really nice to see everybody else and where everybody else was at like skill level. So once we finished that, he thanked all of us. We went out. Those of us with lower numbers, so me, had to wait what felt like an eternity to go in for singing. But they had biscuits and tea and coffee laid out, so we could have a little snack and things like that, which was really nice to have that option there for us, because it got quite cold. They had the windows open. It got quite cold, so it was nice to have like a little tea or coffee while you were waiting. So when eventually I did get to go in for singing, you had something I forgot to mention about the documents requirements. It does tell you that your 2 songs, you have to have the sheet music for them. I wasn't sure whether this was just like my sheet music, whether it was just like, whether they wanted it in front of them to see if I could follow along with music. I wasn't too sure, but I found out later on, pretty close to the audition, that it was the piano music that they wanted. Luckily the music that I had already printed out had my part, but it also had the piano part on it, and they played the accompaniment live for you. There was 3 people in the room, and they have the accompaniment live, which is really nice. I've never had that before. As I said, all of my auditions, I don't know if I just said it, all of my auditions up to now have been online. This was the first in-person audition I think I've ever done, except for like mock auditions at college. So I went in, they asked me what songs I brought. I told them, and they said, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to listen to one full one, and then we're going to listen to just like the start, like part of the other. Some people got asked just to hear the end, some people got asked to do a specific part. I think it was really based on what they heard from you from the first song, on where they asked you to go from in the second song. But they asked me what song I wanted to sing in full. I chose Little Miss Perfect because I knew of 2 other people who had brought Dead Mom that day, and I'm like, they've already heard this song, so I'm gonna come in with something different, and then they can hear my belt a little bit more in Dead Mom, which went really well. After I had sung those 2 pieces, the musical theatre leader asked some questions. So he asked me what experience I have in like dance, acting, music, like what experience I have in musical theatre right now, what I'm doing. Obviously I explained to him that I'm in college for musical theatre. I'm in my 2nd year of my HND. I'm just about to finish up in summer. That we do 2 musicals in year 2. So this year, I don't think it's been mentioned yet, we're doing SpongeBob the musical, and we're also doing Ruthless musical, which is really exciting. I love both musicals so much. I have the part of Plankton in SpongeBob, and I also got the part of Tina in Ruthless, which was really nice. He seemed to be quite pleased with that, and I'm glad I got to get that out there, because it's something that I really want to bring in, because we had to audition for those roles. It is something that I'm proud of, the fact that I got those 2 main roles, and it was nice that I was able to tell them that. He asked what sort of music training I had, so I told him that I went to Nikos, that I can read music. I told him a little bit about my lecturer at college for music, and then I came out, and that was the day. I didn't get out until like 4:45, so you really have to have your full day clear, and I would recommend not planning to go out that night, because I am very tired. I do not want to do anything, but yeah, it was a brilliant day. The lecturers are so lovely. Oh, I forgot to mention something. After dance, we didn't go straight into acting. That was a lie. After dance, we went into a room with the musical theatre leader, the director of musical theatre, the main human, and he told us about the course specifics, because earlier we just got kind of like a breakdown of what they do in general, so we were able to ask questions about that specific course, what they do, what separate years are like, which was really nice. I forgot to mention that completely. But yeah, so as I was saying, we finished really late. I do not want to do anything. It was genuinely a 9 to 5, which is crazy, because that's their general day is 9 to 5. For their BA musical theatre, it's Monday to Friday 9 to 5, which is a lot. I suppose it depends on what training you've done before. For me right now, I'm Monday to Thursday 9 to 5. I take the Sunday off usually, or I take the Friday off, and I'll work 2 days at the weekend. So, it would be quite a jump for me, like, not really to have a day off, because I do need to work 2 days a week. It just depends what you've done before. But I had a really good day, and they were all so lovely. And I'm really glad I got to share this with you guys, because, as I said, I was looking it up before, and I'm like, there's no video that's going to tell me what I would like to know. So, if other people are looking for a video like this, here it is. I'm glad you found it. Yeah, so I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I have been helpful. If you have any questions about what I've said, or any questions in general, feel free to comment, and I will answer them, I promise. Yep, so like, subscribe for more awesome videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!